This is the old school traveler. I just got back from Aruba. Yeah, I told you before that I tell it like it is, but I went to Aruba and I really enjoyed Aruba. Now, here's the downside. I went on a cruise, but I stayed overnight, but I went back to Aruba because the cruise told me I should go back. So I went back to Aruba, and to tell you like it is, I thoroughly enjoyed Aruba. Is it one of the top 5 places I want to go back to? No. Is it one of the top 5 I will go back to? Yes. I'm going to tell you about Aruba. There is really no crime. The crime is so minuscule that there's no way, night or day, you're going to feel threatened when you walk around. And we walked around a lot. I mean, a lot. I mean, we was walking miles per day. Now, I also took a tour. I like doing excursions. I'm an excursion fanatic. I like doing them, always going to do them. But Aruba, if all you want to do is go to the beach and sit on the beach and do, beach things, it's the perfect place for you. It's perfect for you. That's Aruba. It's perfect for you. And I like to say that if you're fat or lazy, Aruba's for you. It is for you. Aruba is made for people like you. Now, the one thing about Aruba, not one. Well, the one great thing about Aruba is that it's not in the hurricane belt. I don't know when the last time, if they've ever had a hurricane. Aruba's not in that belt. It's too far south to South America. And we know the hurricanes only hit North America and Central America. But Aruba is definitely, it's not by any means a poor country. No. Aruba is, about everything in Aruba is kind of like everything in Washington, D.C. Dollar for dollar. It's about everything the same. The difference is Aruba is strictly a ripoff if you're a tourist and don't know what you're doing. Yes, Aruba will rip you off because everything near the ships is super expensive compared to what you would normally pay in Aruba. I'm gonna give you an example. When I say I took the cruise there, we stayed overnight, and we noticed that the restaurants had everything posted in dollars, which is already a trap for you already. And some things, like a steak filet mignon, $55. Now, for a 10-ounce steak filet mignon, that's about what it costs in the States. We had the same steak filet mignon. I had it when we went back in a non-tourist area. I paid like $30 for the same thing. It was bigger, it was better, and it tasted even better. They do not cater to the tourists in the non-tourist areas. Aruba got maybe one street that's right outside where the port, and if you buy anything on that street, you paying way more than a local would pay. But you won't see locals on that street unless they work in those stores that says we cater to Americans, we cater to foreigners, we cater to the ships. Because those places are owned by the ships, or the ships get a cut of the money. Either owned by the ships, like Diamond. The cruise line own that stuff. You're going to pay way more than you ever imagined. But some people don't mind paying that kind of money. And I don't mind paying for things I want. But also, I don't like getting ripped off either. Because you can tell when the cruise line own places because they don't negotiate. No, the cruise line don't negotiate because they're either going to buy it where you are or you're going to buy it on the ship. Either way, you get ripped off. But now let me tell you, the food is good, but I don't know how much of the food is cooked by locals, by Arubians. It seems like it all comes in on the ship. It's already pre-cooked, pre-made. But the food is good, though. You pay a lot for it. The food is good. And like I said earlier, crime is low. And if you really, really want to lay on the beach all day, Aruba is the place for you. I'm more active. I'm more active than that. I like seeing the local places, seeing what's around the areas, and this video showing you where I'm walking to, where I'm going, and but the people are nice. You know, I didn't run into any issues or anything. The people are nice, but would I go there again versus Carousel? No. I mean, I would go there again, but not in favor of going to other cities I've been to. Aruba is one of those things that I like to do again, but I'm not in a rush to do it again. Because when we went on our own, we paid about $140 a night for a hotel room. It was a nice hotel room. That was per night. And I spent maybe $70 on food per day. You know, but I walked a lot, but they got taxis and stuff. They just not in abundance, but they'll be there eventually within 15 minutes of you calling them. Now, saying that, Aruba got some of the prettiest buildings you ever gonna see. They're all kind of colors. They're all kind of everything. They got some of the pretty, and I love that. They got that Caribbean feel. You know you in the Caribbean, you know. But I mean, and like I said, the architect is just pretty, very, very, very pretty. Aruba has all that, and you know, in the video, I'm showing you some of those houses and other things. It's just pretty as hell, and, you know. But the Arubans go at a different pace too, which I like a lot. They're not going 100 miles an hour on everything they do. No, not at all. They go at a total different pace. They're laid back. They're easygoing. They enjoying life. They are enjoying life. You know, so like I said, I really, really enjoyed it. And Aruba is just an island full of happy people. They're just happy as hell. You know, so like I said, is it top of my list? No, but it's on my list. Like I said, I'm very, very active. And Aruba is designed and made for people who really wants to do nothing all day. Because nothing's in a rush. Nothing's in a rush. Matter of fact, the Starbucks prices were even in English. US dollars. And of course, it's only a half a block from the port. So Aruba is designed for the cruisers. If you want to enjoy it even more, go there on your own. You'll enjoy it a lot more because you got more time and you're not stuck in the cruise port area paying crazy prices for things that you may or may not want. So my whole point is, when you go to some of these places, go on a cruise ship to see what it's like, and then go back on your own to really enjoy it. Because you know how you know there's something missing when you're on a cruise ship, because they stay there 4 or 5 hours. You know, they stay there 4 or 5 hours, and then they want to rush you to go to their shops. They do that intentionally so you don't have time to discover the island unless you're on one of their excursions where they take you through the island but not really giving you time to buy anything. That's how the cruise ship did us in Aruba. But we knew there was a lot more we were missing. So we said, we're going back. We're going back next month. We got to go see what Aruba's like, because there's just too much. You know, it's not all about going to the beach and riding sand buggies or sand, you know, on the sand dunes and seeing a couple of lighthouses. We know there's more to it than just that. But, you know, the cruise ships make it one of their favorite stops because, you know, they're not going to give you much time there. They give you just enough time to buy stuff out of their stores and say, get the hell on, let's go. And if you're not ready to go on that ship when it leaves, it just leaves you. But we actually had a couple of meals there. And, you know, we had a couple of meals. And then we cooked a couple of times, which is not very often. But we had a couple of meals there in the non-port areas. We actually enjoyed the hell out of those meals a lot more than we did with the meals. We enjoyed a hell of a lot more of them. You know, we enjoyed the experience, and, you know, and everybody speaks English, so that wasn't a big deal. Everybody speaks 2 or 3 different languages. They have a lot of Haitians is their wait staff, you know. But, and plus, we knew the drinks didn't cost what we were paying in the cruise port area. We knew that. So we didn't drink. We said, we'll drink some more later. in the places that got a bunch of Arubians. Now, the nightlife in Aruba is very vibrant. Very, very, very vibrant. I mean, it's fun because they come by with these like buses or whatever they were, and they just have a blast. Arubians know how to party. They have a blast. That's just their nature. They have fun with everything. They don't get uptight. They don't get upset. Everything is easy going. It's a slower pace of life. And if you go to a restaurant someplace, don't think they're going to rush your food out. But here's a good thing. They're not going to rush you out either. You can sit there, and we had live entertainment in almost every restaurant we went to. We had live entertainment. Yeah, they're not going to rush you out. They just go, it's kind of like Panama. They just go at a different pace. And that's the way life should be. It is for me now. But yeah, they go at a different pace and they just enjoy themselves. And so they don't go at the American pace where everyone's in a rush to die. No, they don't do that. They don't do that at all. But take some excursions, and the excursions you take that's not on the cruise ship, not with the cruise ship, is a lot cheaper than when you there for yourself for a week, week and a half. You can go at your own pace. You ain't got somebody driving 80 miles an hour on a 20-mile-an-hour road. And plus, the ship excursions only take you to where they have a vested interest. I mean, they're not taking you where you might want to go. But the Arubians eat later dinner time than we do. I don't mind eating at 8 o'clock if I ate at 2 o'clock. But I don't want to eat at 8 o'clock if I ate at 11 o'clock for lunch. But the food's very, very good. You won't find a bad meal. We went to about 10 different places, and there was no bad meals. We didn't find a bad meal the entire time we was there. Nope. Because you know why? We asked the locals where should we eat at. We asked them. Now, whether they get a cut for recommending us to a certain place, I don't know. But I know the place we went to, the price we paid was the price on the menu. We don't tip. They don't expect a tip. But we had great food the whole time. And the people were very knowledgeable. And it was just kind of funny that you go to the Starbucks and all you see is foreigners hogging the Wi-Fi. That's all you saw. You didn't see any Arubians in Starbucks. And I asked the guy why. The guy said because it's set up for the foreigners. It's not set up for the Arubians. We're not going to pay. Here's the thing. In Aruba, in the Caribbean, Central America, in the Caribbean, any land or country that touches the the Caribbean Ocean, claims they got the best coffee in the Caribbean. They all say it. They all say they got the best coffee. So the guy in Aruba told us, why would we pay $6 for a cup of, Starbucks when it only costs $1.50 down the street? And it's a lot better because it's not imported. It's grown there locally. So that was our take. And so when we tried the local coffee, yeah, it was night and day. It wasn't that stuff that you get in your normal Starbucks. But my whole point is this. If you want to enjoy yourself at the utmost and a reasonable cost, go to those islands down there on your own and don't depend on a cruise ship or somebody else, because you can arrange personal individual tours around the island with the same guys who are taking those ship excursions. Believe me, they work a lot, but not every day. And we had a lot of guys when we was on the cruise ship taking our excursions and we was going on the excursions, give us their personal card. So when we came back, we just called them. And hell, they had a better vehicle than what they had with the ships. We just called them. They said, "Hey, no problem. I'll pick you up. Tell me when and where." And then we customized our excursion, all of them to what we wanted to see and not what the ship wanted us to see. But like I said, you ain't got no crime. And then they took us to some nice places to eat at, that maybe their mom or sister or somebody you know owned, but they took us there and it was a blast. It was a blast. And now of that, we saw Aruba for what it really was. Now, Aruba's clean. Even when I went to a part that didn't look all that clean, it was not like it wasn't clean. It was just old. Old looks old. Look at old people. They look old. They are what they are. So I really, really, really enjoyed that part of the going back and visiting people as well. We made a couple friends there, and they took us out and showed us places. And then when people found out that they're from Aruba, the price changed. Yeah. It's amazing how taking a friend out for a $4 drink saves you $40. Yeah, it's amazing how that works. But we did all that, and we had a great time. We had a great time. But my whole point to everybody is simple. Go to these same places, and you get to create your own agenda, or excursion, your itinerary. You will enjoy that place a lot more than you will when someone else does it for you, because nobody knows what you really care about. What they tell you, this is where we're going. You want to go? If you don't, you don't. You do, you do. This is where we're going. This is the date and time we're going. And you may see another place you want to go to that it's not on their itinerary. And you're thinking, I want to go over here. Well, the ship captain says, we're not going there. You want to go there? Walk. We already lined up what we're going to do, and you're going to pay all this money. You're going to go with us. If you don't, oh well, stay on the ship. And every single place I go to, I take an excursion. I probably spend much on excursions as I do on the damn cruise. But when I go by myself, I go to places I want to go, and I pay less, and I'm happier. That's when I go by myself. So Aruba there's really nothing negative about Aruba, but try all the Aruban different foods. I tried quite a few, but not all the ones I wanted to try. But the food in the Caribbean in general is great. And I don't mean just jerk chicken. No, try the other foods. Now, I'm going to say one thing about Aruba and the Caribbean in general. They do like fried foods. And I'm not a big fan of fried foods. So I tried a lot of other things too. But then again, I'm kind of strange that I don't like plantains either. I never was a banana fan in my life. I don't like anything from the banana family. But my whole point is, you go and you try Aruban food, and you're going to like it because they got something for everybody. Now, they eat a lot of beans, but every meal we had was a good meal. But I know if I keep trying my luck, I'm going to find something that is not as good. Now, the one thing about Aruba I noticed too, and this is the negative thing about it, I like a good breakfast. I really do. In Aruba, finding places with good breakfast was all by the cruise port area. Yeah. Now, I know they got them other places in Aruba. I didn't find a lot of them in the week I was there. So I went to the same place more than once. I kept kind of like, I know they're going to be open. And Arubians don't like that 6 and 7 o'clock start time. No, they're more like the 9 o'clock. I get that when you're out all night long partying. I totally understand that. But also, I like to get up in the morning and do things. I'm not somebody going to lay in bed until midnight. Some people do that. They wake up at midnight and say, oh, life just starting. So, but the people are nice. I didn't see a lot of fat ones. No. I guess Ozempic has not made it down to them just yet. I've seen a couple of heavy ones, but for the most part, they're healthy people. And almost everything I can find in America, I can find in Aruba. Some things, American things, cost more because they're imported. But for the most part, especially drugs, if you want Tylenol, extra strength, you want a BC, you old folks, certain things you wanted, they had it all there. And you didn't need to go to the doctor to get it. Just walk in and say, I want to buy A, B, and C. Here you go. And they had fresh fruit everywhere. Now, a lot of things to Aruba, any island nation, some things can be expensive because it's imported, it's flown in. So some things in, like Coca-Cola, there's no Coke bottling plant in Aruba. So if you want a Coke, you're going to pay for it. I didn't mind because I don't drink Coke. Now, I did buy a lot of water, and they would charge you $2 or $3 by the port, 50 cents away from the port. I don't know why water costs much, considering you're an island nation. But, go back to Aruba, and like I said, it's not in my top 5, but it's definitely on my list of places to go back to because I want an island hop. I'm going to do that very, very soon. I did a little bit of that, but I want to do a lot more. So this is the old school traveler telling you Aruba is worth the time, is worth the effort. Go on back and see them again. They're very nice people. They'll be very appreciative, and it'll be worth your time. But you got to find a breakfast place, and I don't mean Starbucks or McDonald's, but you got to find a breakfast place to get a decent Arubian breakfast. I know it's out there. I just got to work a little harder to find it. When I do, I'll let you know. The Old School Traveler out.